feels like it's a bit bulky. I'm gonna be seasick. Episode 17. I have got so much stuff, but it's going to be a short one because I haven't got much time. So I reckon I'll just podcast about some of it and there'll be an episode relatively soon about the rest. I'll see how far I get. This is the Yarnchix podcast. My name is Mimi and I have a Yarnchix podcast Instagram that has just hosted a giveaway and I am about to draw a winner for that. I have the Leapwed Instagram account. That's sort of my main Instagram account. From there I had the great big idea to start podcasting. And Yarnchix Podcasting, the name came from winning at a game of Yarn Chicken. I can't remember. It was an endless game of Yarn Chicken with my Rockhopper shawl, which is a design by Anna Maltz. And I had, for the first time, made this big, huge project and kept running out, frogging the little swatch I'd done and ordering more, and I don't know, there was so much frogging in Yarn Chicken games, and I think then I was like, oh, Yarn Chicken, Yarnchix. I think that's how the name came about. There is not just this podcast, there's also the Yarnchix zine, which is a handmade zine that I make and you can buy on Etsy, and it's fun. I have got 3 issues. I'm working on number 4, which will land later on this month. So I guess the next podcast I can share it. Currently, I've got, I misprinted and I printed this a massive picture. I'm going to show a close-up of that. This is basically the recipe that is in, there's always a knitter's snack in the zine, and currently it is this chickweed, chickweed pie, which is basically like a tart with foraged herbs, greens, and amazing cat of the olive trees and the moon generously gave me permission to publish her recipe, and there's some photographs of my visit with her. This is one of her photographs and I printed it so large by mistake I couldn't actually put it in the zine this size, so I had to reprint it smaller. There's some photographs of my stay with her, so there's sort of holiday photographs as issue number 3. It's called Taking Flight and it has a lot to do with our trip to Portugal. it had been a long time coming. And this is the other thing in there. So both of these will be in a little close-up. So that chicken is knitting Portuguese, which I learned of Kat, and I'm so extra super thankful because I now have started purling Portuguese, which is so much fun, and I got to train that with Rosa Pomar's amazing Isaura cape, which I will add in another close-up of that right now. That was the Isaura cape, and here it is for reals. It's mainly Portuguese pearl, which was so good that I'd learnt it, and then I was purling this and basically got to train up my Portuguese knitting skills with this amazing cape. I sometimes wear it myself, but I mainly made it for my daughter. And yeah, the pattern of this is in the Yarnchix zine number 3, Taking Flight, because Rosa Pomar, who designed this and who I got to interview, also for the zine, generously offered that I could publish the pattern, and I love that. I'm so pleased. So if you want to knit it and you want to buy the zine, combine the two things. Yeah. So this is Isaura. I know I have introduced it before. I just wanted to share that again. Currently, I was hosting the Yarnshrine Giveaway. In April, you could win a Nuuk pattern. The Nuuk sweater was a design from Laine's issue number 1. Very first Laine magazine had this on the cover. And it's like a sleeveless little cropped raglan top, and I love it. I'm actually planning my second one. It's gonna be pink, a bit like so, like this pink, and I'm super excited. I really want to knit it again, and I was super happy when Jonna, who designed the top, and Zini, who are both the women behind Laine magazine, said, yes, we'll support you with one single pattern. So I'm had lots of entries. This is full of all the entries, and I'm gonna basically pull out of this basket one winner. So the way it worked was everybody posted a picture of, everybody who wanted to enter the Yarnshrine Giveaway, posted a picture of their place of yarn admiration. You know, so people just post one skein of their most beloved skein, their most recent sort of EYF purchases, or like a little display that's always in their living room. And the idea was just to snap a picture of that, and every post that was tagged Yarnshrine or Yarnshrine Giveaway, I was open to that, basically was 5 entries. So all those shrines, I checked who they are on Instagram and added 5 bits of paper into this giveaway, and I can't wait to find out. And I'm going to use my left hand because that's sort of the intuitive hand. I'm gonna draw the winner at the beginning if you're only here to find out. So sort of mixing it up. And the winner of one Nuuk Ravelry pattern, PDF pattern, is Kitchener Stories. Thank you so much for your yarn shrine. Kitchener Stories, I remember. It was Lina Mukka by Wollen. It's the linen quality in a really nice yellow golden, a bit like this color. That was a lovely yarn shrine. Gonna maybe repost that, put it in here so you can see it. And congratulations. I'm gonna pass on your details to Jonna and Zini of Laine, and then you will have your Nuuk pattern. And thank you everybody who joined in. I'm super chuffed that you took the time to take a photograph of your yarn shrines and shared them with us, and that you basically enjoyed going through your stash to check that. I have a new giveaway. Basically, oh my god, this is super exciting. I need to find, where have I put it? Here. There is a Yarnchix giveaway. Oh my god, what am I going to give away? I have recently met up with my friend Anna Maltz, and she has generously offered up one Marlisle, A New Direction in Knitting book, for me to give away on the podcast. So I'm super excited. I'm basically rolling from giveaway to giveaway. This one is going to be set up a bit differently because I want to try out, just finding out what you think about Marlisle and hearing your ideas. Maybe you have marled a project before, maybe you have used color work in a project before, and Marlisle, which is Anna's great baby invention, is basically using both techniques in a knitting project at the same time. I have got no finished objects, but I have whips, so I will show the S shawl, which is in this amazing book. And I am actually hosting the S-Cal, which is a knit along for the shawl with no deadlines. Here it is, the S. So I'm extra excited that maybe by having this giveaway with Anna's support, maybe someone else was gonna start knitting the S shawl as part of my S-Cal. I would love you to join. Besides that, I thought what I'll do, I'm gonna open a little thread in my Ravelry, and you can see all the different knit-alongs and in my Ravelry group, which is the Yarnchix Podcast Ravelry group. And I would like you to just answer the question of what Marlisle project you have planned, you would like to knit from the book, which one of Anna's Marlisle patterns you would like to knit first from the book. So if you were to have this book, which pattern are you gonna do first? And then I'm just nosy. Just add what project you've mauled, what project you might have used color work in, because that would be just really nice to find out a little bit more about you. And that is about it. That is the giveaway. I'm gonna announce this on Instagram, and there will be more information around that. I'm super excited that the Yarnchix podcast has got a Marlisle book up for grabs, and I hope you take your opportunity. Go for it. This book is so good. So happy that I get to share the Marlisle love with someone in this way. Okay, let's get going with my whips. Currently on the needles, as just mentioned, it is the S shawl. I am about 2 rows away. Keep doing that. 2 rows away from changing colors again, and about 1 skein of black Hietala away from not losing a yarn chicken. I'm so gonna lose a yarn chicken with this. But what it means is, with the S shawl, I will simply have to order more yarn. And now it's a new month, it's the 2nd of May, so I can use my yarn budget and buy a skein of this from Blacker Yarns. So excited. So the blue is, there's basically 2 different blues. Is Blacker Yarns Tamar, and then I am marling it, which is basically using 2 strands at the same time, and then for some parts of it, and you'll see a little close-up of that now, you knit the 2 together in a marl. Some of it is like color work, so you have a float at the top, which is the color work part, I suppose, the parallel. And the float adds a different sort of background on the inside of the knit, because there's basically 2 sides to the knit, as you can see here, if I turn it over. And the escarl is going strong. We have another light blue version, we have a brown version. There is a really nice speckled version by Jenny, Samuel Ramones. I really love that. It's I think the color way is called Jenny's Garden, and it is dyed by her friend Flying Kettle. So it's a special shawl for her, definitely, and it looks amazing with all the... Actually, I'm like, oh, I didn't use a speckle for this. That would have been interesting. Hence, well, there's always the next cast on, and you can always knit things twice, can't you? Okay, these stitches keep slipping, it's ridiculous. I need to actually pull the needle super through. Sorry, not even knitting anything, but keep dropping the stitches. And the S shawl lives in my fringe field bag, and it's sort of coming out, not quite past halfway, I don't think, so more knitting to be done. Part of the reason the escarl is called the escarl with a lot of positive ease is that I really want to take my time with this and not feel the pressure of looming deadline, because I felt like that's what the S shawl should be for me, a project that I can keep picking up. So I'm quite chuffed. People are knitting along with that. I'm not on my own. We're knitting along. So that's one of the weeps. Sorry, I needed to drink a bit of tea. And the other whip is the Meadowsweet shawl. The Meadowsweet shawl is a design by Jamie of Fancy Tiger Crafts, and they published the book A Wool Journey, which was a sort of a trip they did to the Shetlands, and there's a sort of Shetland shaped shawl with this lace, so the lace is currently on my needles. But this is all super squishy-licious. It's yarns that I bought from the event Meet the Shepherdess. And Meet the Shepherdess at Edinburgh Yarn Festival was a really great place to find sort of different new things. I don't know if you can see the sort of, there's like a humble fade in this because I'm using different yarns that I bought there. So this is Black Isle yarns and I love it. It's so good. It was really lovely to meet Julie at the event and have a chat, and I just fell in love with this squishy skein of yarn. I just bought a 50-gram skein, so that's all, and just basically knitted that in the pattern until I'd run out. And then I'm using New Leaf yarns, which is Jane has New Leaf yarns, and that is a really lovely blend of alpacas with also local Shetland yarns. And I have 3 different colours. So I have this lighter, which almost sort of fades over, and then I get a darker beige, and I'm just about to knit the last lace repeat on this colour. Maybe you can see slightly brownish. And then the scalloped edge I will knit with the 3rd alpaca by New Leaf yarns in this amazing grey. So I'm going to film a little close-up of all these different colours together because they just sing so beautifully. So I spoke about all the different yarns from the Meadowsweet shawl in the last podcast, and will sort of gather myself a bit more about that one. I'm just entirely besotted because it is wool that I bought at a special fair in a special moment, and I'm so happy to put everything I bought that day into one shawl, and it being quite a celebration of the event and the days off. The days off I had in Scotland. Yeah, very super excited, and living in this amazing avocado dyed Karapashi bag by Ute. I absolutely love it, with this little zip, and the inside is also just the lining is so beautiful. And this little badge is from the Blue Moon, Blue Moon Indigo, which is was a highlight to meet Lindsay in Edinburgh, and I bought some yarn from her, so watch the space for the next shawl. That was the Meadowsweet shawl, and I wanted to introduce one more whip, and I'm gonna keep it at that because I feel like I need to edit my crazy sort of amount of projects that I podcast about, and so I think a group of 3 is pretty good. Similar to my idea of a group of 3 items. Okay, let's talk about the Magic 3 Mile. But I'm a bit silly. Group of 3s. Because in the Magic 3 Mile, basically, I'm inviting everyone who wants to knit something for a child. And you can knit or sew or make by hand 3 items. Top, bottoms and a toy. And I had so much fun last year, and some of us had so much fun together that we're all so upset that it was finished, and everybody was like, when are you going to start again? And as it had been quite an organizational mammoth task for me, it felt like I'd done all right, but I wanted to do better. I've asked for help, so I've got help by an amazing friend who is woolen-hearted and makes some skillful artisan teddy bears. You should go and check out her page. She is so lovely. She's going to support people with the toy making part. Then from Cynthia, who I've already sort of supported with her project, the Whip Down Together group and Ravelry, and also via Instagram, And we sort of worked out that it's really good to sort of support each other. You know, the project stays yours. You just sort of find people to have that input and support that sometimes makes all the difference, to have that support. So she will help with the garment sewing part because she has made some amazing stuff last year, and I feel inspired to sew more. Yet I need someone to take my hand and carry me through. Yeah, pull me through. Pull me through. Keep me accountable. Hold me accountable. Is that how you say it? My brain. But also just sort of, when I have a question, I won't feel embarrassed to turn to Cynthia and ask, how did that part work again? And that's how basically we're going to all help each other with everything anyway. But it's just nice to have those supportive moderators for the Ravelry group, but also group oriented, community feeding, supporting friends. And the third support that I have is from Lisa, who's Erica Eccles, and she's a hand quilter. And she's amazing. She is a really great friend, and I met her in Edinburgh, and I was just so thankful for her lovely kind words about the podcast, but also just generous soul. And she has joined us in saying, okay, I could support with quilting if anybody wants to hand quilt. And obviously I was like, yeah, I want to do that. I want to learn that skill. So I'm going to attempt to make a family quilt. It's mainly for the Bauwagen, but I don't know yet. I might find it too hard to leave it there when I'm here. Maybe it's just going to be a traveling quilt. But I felt like making a family one using leftover fabrics from things I've made in the past, sort of a recycling project mainly, because I don't want to invest. Maybe I have to invest into whatever goes in between the two layers. I'll keep you posted about that, but I'm super chuffed I'll have that help and support. And I was gonna introduce my third whip in the context of that, because I wanted to show you, sorry, one of the things that I knitted for a kid that I really enjoyed. I knitted this for my daughter, and that's the penguono, and I called it the wraparound rainbow. I just loved making this, and I'm actually wear this sometimes, but I've also stretched the bit with my shoulders that I'd obviously made smaller for my daughter. So now I'm knitting it in the original adult size. So that was another idea I had for the Magic 3 make-along. It's just to be generous with yourself. If there is something you want to knit for yourself as a matchy outfit like I am, you're welcome to join in. Honestly, everyone's always welcome to join in. What I'm doing now is basically I'm using the same yarn remains and making myself an adult size, so a bigger version of the similar thing. So you can already see this is going to stretch slightly wider, it's a bit stiffer, but kind of in a similar style. Pinks and reds and the mints and things will be knitted into the penguono, and I've just got that out of my whip basket and added it to my whip down list, and I'm like, yes, works in progress, need progress, need a bit of knitting. I am excited to work on this a bit more. This project lives in my Seaworthy Knots sweater size project bag. I love it. It's got this recycled jeans bottom with base, and here's the label. Seaworthy Knots is Kelly. She used to live in Berlin, and we became friends at the knit night at Wollen. That's how we met, and I just I love her bags, and I love the incentive of recycling old pairs of jeans. She will have inspired my quilt, because I think one side I'm going to use up all our worn out, knees torn pairs of jeans, and on the other side I will use cotton fabrics, and basically inspired. Like all my friends always inspire me in some way or another. We all inspire each other. On that note, I'm not just going to make the quilt, I'm also going to knit a blanket, and that is another story of great big inspiration. Fran started knitting the Vivid blanket for, I think, her son, and I saw the squares and I just loved the look of this little, they're sort of star-shaped things. I have not started, so there's nothing. I've just got my hands to show for this project. It's just in my head. I haven't made anything. But the idea of the project is to make it sort of, at the same time as knitting it, it will become a bit of a project to showcase some of the plant dyes that I will have used over the summer. So I'm gonna plant dye my first batch of yarn with nettles. And this is in connection with a friend's blog. Katrin, who is Waldweg on Instagram, has a blog online, and she started this project of plant dyeing yarns over the summer. I think at the moment she's actually running a giveaway for some of the yarns. You could go have a look. I actually really loved reading about plant dyeing and about feeling inspired to sort of create alongside each other. When Fran started writing and talking to me about her Vivid blanket, I was like, do you mind, Fran? I might make the same thing. How about we knit this parallel? And out of this conversation evolved this idea of sending each other skeins of the wool we're going to use in our own blankets and just adding them to our own dye pods. Because basically what I plant dye with these hands and with the plants local to me, to the shepherd's hut and to sort of my surroundings in the garden or wherever I will forage for these wild plants that I'll use as dye matter, will be different to what Fran finds in the Bretagne where she lives. And as she's very specific in the yarns that she wants to use from her previous home in the valleys and hills and mountains, she suggested, okay, why don't we send each other our base for our blankets and support one another with some of the colors. And I'm super excited to do this over the summer, and I will share some of my plant dyed yarns with you here and some of the blanket as part of the Magic 3 projects that I'm making. There will be much more talk about ideas, because I have 100 million ideas of what I want to knit and make for my kids. But right now I wanted to introduce to you by chatting. God, I've just waffled about the Vivid blanket. I didn't show you anything. But I'm going to show you something. This is my most current yarn shrine. These are all plant dyed beauties. Apart from what, yeah, this is all plant dyed beauties that have joined my world, my stash, my yarn shrine as gifts by amazing makers. And this is sort of genuinely exactly the palette that I'm gonna go like, oh my god, I want to learn this skill. It's just adorable, and it all works so well together, although it's all different bases, different dyes, all plant-based. undyed, also a new base that Louise of Southdown Yarns is introducing, and I'm super excited to test that. And then there is a dark, it's called Rock Pool. Okay, indigo and pomegranate and indigo. I love that pétrole. I might knit a square for the vivid blanket from this, or join it in one of the borders, or I might knit this in stripes. I don't know, I have to see. I'm super happy to try out her new base and to try out this pétrole, maybe even together. So now we have this plant dyed yarn shrine. I've just installed this plant dye yarn shrine because I'm so thrilled to start using plant dyes myself. I also need to actually show some of the colours that, you know, not only in this cardigan, which is Hey Mama Wolf, and that is plant dyed with Veld, but I have these skeins in my yarn shrine currently, and I'm absolutely besotted with these plant dyed colours. This is an onion skin plant dye mokosh. Mokosh is a specific seasonal series that Jule of Hey Mama Wolf started last year on a French base. The fibre is from France and it's spun in Great Britain. And she dyed this with onion skins, and they are like seasonal colours. This is from Samhain, so in autumn 2017 she first started this collection. And I'm so happy with this squish. This is super the yarn has a really good length per weight. So this is like a sock yarn. So you have 100 grams, 400 meters, which means it's gonna be really successful for a jumper. I'm currently wondering, like a finer knit jumper. I think you would use needle 3. Yeah, it says 2.5 to 3.5. And I'm currently thinking, and I hope I can still add 2 more skeins to this one to knit myself the Hay Sweater by Sister Mountain. So this skein is sort of preparing that. Claire, Sister Mountains, is actually hosting a Hay Sweater Cal, so go and check out her knit along. I'm not going to join because I think there's no way I can make that happen at the moment, but I'm going to watch it closely with my eagle eyes and I'm going to keep dreaming of my onion mokosh Hay Sweater. I think that would work a dream. I think it just, maybe I should just swatch, because I have the Laine issue number 3 that this is on the actual front cover. The Hay Sweater. You will recognize it. I love it. So that is mokosh. And then I was so lucky to meet, mokosh is jumping down. So lucky to meet Louise of Southdown Yarns when I was in England for a short weekend. Quick whiz over, and look, these amazing yarns, they're the best present. Can't believe Louise gave me these. So she's given me 2 new bases to try out. So I'm gonna have a go and knit something fun. Maybe it's part of the Magic 3 make along, a little bonnet, a stripy bonnet from these. But I wanted to show you these amazing pinks, because this is solar dyed with buckthorn bark, and I absolutely love that bright pink. I sort of assumed it was madder, but no, Louise, it's an amazing solar dyes I haven't tried yet. So this is so exciting to knit, but also to dream in my sort of plant dye dreams, to maybe start one of those solar dye pots. That would be amazing. And this is the madder. And together they will become my second S shawl, because I want to have a really small little S shawl in pink and in the original yarns. So Anna Maltz, who designed the S shawl, pairs Southdown yarns with, and you'll just have to imagine in the scap, daughter of a shepherd, who is actually daughter of a shepherd. So I will knit the daughter of a shepherd, really brownish Hebridean, almost black, together with the pinks from Louise into another fun S shawl. As part of the S curl, I want to cast on, you know, that's going to run slow and easy, easy, easy. Come and join if you're into easy, easy. And this is my current yarn shrine. I think I shared about it as part of the April Yarnshrine. So let's see what May Yarnshrine brings. Apart from a lot of knitting, May is going to see a lot of community knitting. So I'm super stoked to announce and show you actually the last skein as part of that announcement. That's what I'm going to do. I was mega happy and lucky to meet Am of Oysters and Pearls, who was visiting Berlin for a long weekend, and she gave me this skein as a present. It was so lovely to meet Am. And when you sit together and chat about knitting, obviously you spin ideas. And I was talking to her about her amazing contribution, the Sahel top that she's contributing to the book Breeze by Making Stories. I kept saying, I'd really love to knit it, and I love that design. And she was like really sort of chuffed to hear that I was inspired to knit it. And now basically Making Stories and Am both approached me and said, well, why don't you make the cowl, host the cowl together with Am? And I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. But I'm hosting the S cowl, the Magic 3 make-along, plus I'm still running the Boulogne cowl and reviving that very, very shortly. So I was like, oh, it's a little bit much. Then when Am said, well, we'll team up, you know, we'll do it together. And the Boulogne cowl is actually Black Leoness in the pattern book. I was like, okay, you've got me. I mean, I'm gonna knit it. That cowl is gonna be fun, and it's gonna be slow and easy again. If we manage to finish the Sahel top, which is this lovely, lovely textured, sort of small tank top with, it sort of goes up here. Maybe I can add in a picture. I'll ask the girls of Making Stories Breeze, the women, not girls, sorry. I'm gonna ask if I can add in the pictures. I'm sure Making Stories don't mind. The book is launching this week, 4th of April. So maybe by the time I've edited this, the book is out. So I will knit that top. I won't knit it in this amazing yarn. That will be something to consider what to make with. But this is Am's Dye Pot Indigo. And Am designed the Sahel top. Ooh. She has a new base, and I absolutely love her label, Oysters and Pearls. I can't wait to knit this into something as part of the Magic 3 make-along, as I think I'm gonna knit everything in the Magic 3 make-along, and to knit the Sahel top as part of the Making Stories Breeze cowl. And I'm gonna knit the Boulogne sweater. This is where I paused basically. Oh, but Edinburgh, I had so many sweaters and things to finish. I paused at this point. This is gonna go back onto the needles, and I'm basically gonna revive it. Again, this is gonna be like mindful, slow knit along, and I'm gonna be happy to carry on because I love the Boulogne sweater design by Orlan Souche. It's gonna be so good. And I'm knitting in a woolen spun wool called Fonti Fado. Oh, I should mention, So if any of you are still considering knitting any of the millions of things that I'm knitting and you want to join me, come check out my Ravelry group. Can I put that there? It's gonna look, yes, it's balanced. The Boulogne and the Sahed top for adults, and lots of things for kids in groups of 3. In my case, because I have 3 kids, I'm gonna make 3 times 3. Lots of knitting. I'm gonna talk about all the magic 3 ideas and spins and cast-ons next time. For now, I hope this wasn't too much. Join just knit along, join that knit along, come on, let's knit together. But that's just how it is. Make sure you hop into the, in Dutch we say into the basket. Hop into the basket for this prize. The Marlisle Yarnchix Giveaway. I'm so excited that I can give one of you lucky podcast viewers a Marlisle, a new direction in knitting book by Anna Maltz, generously sponsored by my friend, and I honestly believe it's a book we should all have in the library. I'm so convinced of this technique, so I can't wait to share what else apart from the S shawls I'm gonna knit from this book. There is projects planned for the Magic 3 make along from this. Yes, and I'm gonna write that in the top when I open this giveaway thread in the Ravelry group called Yarnchix Podast. In my little spiel at the top, I'm gonna write what I'm gonna knit out of this book for the Magic 3 Ma. Ha! Another incentive to come over. Come on over. Visit me in the Ravelry group. Visit me on Instagram, Yarnchix Podast. Visit me in Wedding. Come to our knit night. There is a knit group that meets every Wednesday morning, and sometimes I'm there in the morning, sometimes I'm not. Wednesday mornings, 11 till 1 o'clock. In Bekesh, I'm gonna add in a little flyer picture. So, noisy road, sorry. I've just been to Bekesh and that was amazing. I absolutely love that place and the concept. And they have said yes to me hosting the first knit meetup. Hooray! This is where we meet. And every first Wednesday in the month we meet at 7 in the evening, sort of open-end knit night. Come, sit, chill, relax, kick back. Don't kick, just kick back and knit with us. I'm there tonight, so I'm very excited. That's a knit night. And I thought we could have like a virtual podcast knit night, and I wanted to introduce something that my favourite podcast. Well, there's so many podcasts out there, but I'm gonna say you're my favourite. Susan of Knitlib, she has this thing at the end. She does this shit to knit to, and I love that. She basically gives out little podcast recommendations and chats about things, and I found some amazing things to watch through Susan, so I think she's worth a peek. I found out about Susan through my friend Fran, who is Woollen-Hearted, and went straight there, binge watched the first 5 episodes, and I've been watching everything Susan does. Now, Susan just hurt her arm, and I was like, oh god, that must be the worst thing. I think she broke her elbow or something crazy. Susan, I hope you're better. I'm sending a lot of like healing power. She just posted a video of herself dancing, so I hope that's a sure sign that things are looking up, getting better. And her shit to knit to at the end is always so much fun, and I'm always making sure to check out what she advises for podcast land. I stumbled into Slap Down Labs. I think that's how you write it. Oh my god. Where is my card? Don't want to say it wrong. Girl, here's my card. Don't want to say your name wrong. Slab Town Slubs. Her podcast is amazing. I love podcasts that are humble and cute and fun, and Marissa, that is, you're all of that. You're honest, you're fun, you make colourful kids things and shawls, you knit all the shawls. I love that. So I would want everyone to go and check out that podcast. Go over to Marissa's. I'm so glad I managed to record a podcast between there and then, because I felt bad about not having announced and drawn the prize for the April Kitchener Stories. Won the giveaway. With all of this and a lot of love from me, I say bye-bye! Wait until the car's really near.